Армысыздар құрметті көрермендер, менің алған курстық жұмысының тақырыбы жаңартылған білім беру мазмұнындағы ағылшын тілін оқытудың ерекшеліктері 43 топ білім алушысы мен 5 орында жеңісұлы аты жөнім. Ендеше бастайық. In English, so features of teaching English in the updated content of education. Let's start from the distance learning. In the last year, in the last years, I went to the practice with distance learning. So before the distance learning, I did practice in English at schools in number 102, 142, and the number 59. So in addition, I had an internship in French at the Almaty Choreographic School named Alexander Seleznov. In the last practice, I passed the diploma practice in distance learning in the number 172 in school gymnasium. So I wrote the practical part of my coursework based on my experience in distance learning. Let's start. So let's start about the educational system. With our education system is the global system. I think that because with the educational system of Kazakhstan, we go to the new paradigms and the new contents, new approaches, new relationships, and we go to the main quality educations of bright future. So our new organization of education with the some parts, for example, changes with the some parts, for example, philosophical, psychological, and pedagogical, and some theory and practice. So teaching experience in the Nazarbayev Intellectual School, because our experiences, some experiences went to the with these new schools, and so in the 2012 with these schools go to the new part of education. So classes that have moved to updated programs. So in Monday, learners go to the school in Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Friday, but Saturday and Sunday they had a free time. So they had a free time for some hobbies and other things. This is the new organization of education of Kazakhstan. So update the content of education. This is a learner and the student. So he has a new structure, and he has a new table of contents, new methods, new approaches, and others. It's not only student. This is a teacher. So modern requirements of education. He has some question, but it's not this question. So what to study at school? No, it's not question. We must have some question about this. Why study at school? Biz mектепте не үшін оқуымыз керек? So actuality of recession. So as English is a means of communication between the state and various societies on world stage, so to explain the students to relevance or specific of English language, so explain the characteristics and directions of updated educational program, and introduce goals and the importance for the updated educational program. So as well in the importance and the features of education English in the updated educational program. So do you understand me? So the importance of learning English. So what is the importance of education in English teacher? So in the Fellaini that said that some great quotes in Fellaini. So a different language is a different vision of life. Yani әртүрлі тіл ол әртүрлі көзқарас деген мағынаны білдіреді. So in our world, so 1 billion. So more of 1 billion people so lives with bilingualism. It's this is a learning 2 or more languages. So for example, Kazakh, Russian, and other the main the main language is Kazakh Russian, for example, in our country, and the other is a bilingualism. So in the 2% so our world's population speaks of language two or more languages. Yani әлемнің 3/2-сі екі және басқа да көп тілдерін сөйлейді. So in the language ranking, English is the first or second, because our statistics and our rankings changed in our time every time. So Mandarin is a Chinese language, so he is the first or second, and the English this is a ranking. So let's go to the English evolution. So last 1,000 years of English. So we start from the Old English. So then Middle English. Look at the Old English. It's not English. It's we think that it's Dutch language, for example. It's not understand. We didn't understand this language. And then King James Bible. So this is in the last evolution of English language is the modern. So why English is popular? After the conquest of many countries, let's go to the history. So the British colonials, English was declared the state language in other colonies. Then in terms of language, for example, mentality and the culture. For example, our USSR, some Russian population have colonies in a lot of countries. For example, so in USA and the African nations, so in Australia and the other deserts have some British colonials. So the importance of using English. So the using English using by English by the peoples of Kazakhstan is very important. One of the proofs of which is the distillation between the two languages. So vowel sound in English and the Kazakh some in English 11 vowel sounds, and in Kazakhstan 12 vowel sounds without diphthong. So next, the number of consonants and the Kazakh in English is the same. So in English have some 24 consonants, in Kazakh 25 consonants. So 980 words in English and the Kazakh are similar of homophonic and homographic and the semantic synonymous nature. So look at the John Rowling's book about Harry Potter and the philosophical stone. So in Kazakh language, it's not Harry Potter, it's Harry Potter. Why? So look at them. We must put our Kazakh consonants and the Kazakh vowel sounds. For example, Kazakh sounds. So, for example, in English, in Russia, John Rowling, for example, in Kazakh, John. So that in English, John Rowling, in Kazakh, John Rowling. Then is a. For example, apple. In Russian, apple. In Kazakh, apple. In English, g, in Kazakh, h. For example, in English, Harry Potter, in Russian, Gary Potter, in Kazakh, Harry Potter. So it is the same in English, in Kazakh language, and this is the importance of learning English. So the importance of teaching language. So we, for example, we search a lot of informations from the Google and the Yandex browsers. So and in internet have 1 billion sites. 1 billion sites is the English sites. That means that we understand that English sites have more information than other language sites. So, but the child should view the language only as a means of communication and exploration. So the child shouldn't deprive it of his her native mentality and culture. So shortly, I think that we go to the manipulation of English. Child. So the main functions of education, the formation and the development of human mentality, morality and creativity. So the main economic power of any country with the condition of population, position of the world, technological development. This is the main function of education. So the main questions of education: what do children need to learn to be successful in the 21st century? What are the most effective teaching methods? This is the main question of education. So the main characteristics of the updated educational content has studying skills, thinking skills, skills of creative thinking, skills of logical thinking, skills of critical thinking, algorithmic thinking, problem thinking skills, technological thinking skills, language and other. This is the main characteristics of the updated educational content. So I have one quote that Chinese proverb: tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I will learn. This is the main Chinese proverb. Albert Herbert said that the purpose of teaching a child is to enable him to develop further without the help of a teacher. So working with the different materials, this is the main resource of education. So this is the improves learners technological thinking, artistic and aesthetic tastes, creativity, memory, spatial imagination and the head motor skills and the ability to accurately visualize. So quality assessment system, we know that about assessment system. But in our time we don't use traditional assessment system because it's old method, criteria-based assessment system that we use in our life. So formative and summative assessment systems. So what I noticed in the practice, in our practice of diploma practice with the distance learning, I insight that information. So before the update of educational system, we have some materials, A4 materials, but after update we go some to the web materials. It's a very nice and it's a very ecological. It's a solution of ecological problem because it's very. We know that. So triple language. We know that in Kazakhstan some have triple language. It's Kazakh, Russian, and British English and American English. So knowledge of the state language is a dirty. So learning other language is a right. So өзге тілдің бәрі біл, өз тіліңді құрметте. In Kazakh language. So they understand the key role of the motivation in teaching English. So teachers in educational institutions need to know its basic methods and the structure. So look at the books. This is the update. This is update books, students books, copy books, some and this in this book have watching and listening, writing and reading. The main strategy of teaching. So this one. So improving the effectiveness of pedagogical activities of the teacher to the students or people and the relationships in the context of social psychological association in the classroom. Listening, writing, reading, speaking. So let's do the game. In practice, game is the most main method in our lesson. So in the practice I organized the game named the field of Marcus in Russian Polychudes. I organized this game for 5th grade because they are learning some words. Some words is with from elementary, and this is the most useful method in this lesson. So cognitive direction, we know that cognitive direction, it's a formation of the child's linguistic vocabulary from starts and ends with the formation of the child's logical thinking. It's very useful direction. So in the communicative, in the practical direction, it's a very useful and the main direction. Learning language norms of children, for children, improving language literacy, and the formation of the ability to use of actively with types of discussions. And we so shortly, we didn't learn, we didn't teach people's not only reading and speaking. We teach the pupils to learn discussing and to tell some main opinions. So computer assisted learning, it's a very useful. The computer allows to enter the world's infinitive information and to systematically analyze information. High speed of information acquisition promotes the growth of human information culture. From information culture, the computer is a universal to human research and cognition. So this is a computer assisted learning. So the tool can clearly show students results of their actions, develops children's own our approach and strategy to make the right decisions in our education. So what is the importance of the teaching English? So imagine that international organizations have announced our competitions for the exchange of experience in leading countries and accordance with their programs, but we didn't go to these programs. Why? Because we didn't know English very well, and it's very shining situation. So what to do? For we go to the fundamental problems that teaching and learning English. So learning English is done to three different ways: lexical work, grammatical work, and phonetical work. And the most commonly used method in the intellectual practice is dialogue. So in the practice I go to the some methods and with the messengers, for example, VK, Telegram, Instagram direction, and the WhatsApp. It is the most platform to organize dialogue. And my students, my learners, did some exercise with this method. So the idea of modernization of the educational cycle, setting in general purpose of training and from and the ends with evaluation of results. It's the modernization of the main area of modernization. So interactive methods of the learners' interaction. So during the a method that teaches learners to think independently and to find answers. So during the learning process, learners interact with the teacher, with even people, with other students in small groups, with a large group of students. This is the interactive methods of learners' interactions. So advantages of the interaction method of teaching associates personal interests from and helps to change behavior. It's the main useful method of teaching. So the effectiveness of the interactive method, no source of the self-confidence from oratorial skills improvement, because oratorial skills is main skills in our interactive methods. So and they feels the right to express their opinion. The following methods are used in the educational process on the following updated educational content is the case study, business role playing, and the testing. In our practice, I use quizzes. Quizzes is the is the same with Kahoot, but some differences have some differences. So I used a lot of methods in practice. So PBL, TBL training, brainstorm, warming, silent way, and the grammar translational method. It's the very first method in English teaching. So English learning in the fundamental education. So things to keep in mind when teaching English. So regular English language teaching begins with contexts that are often used in everyday life. Receive training materials accordance with reality, assign the task according to the student's ability, and the last is learning. So next, why I used quizzes? This is the main question our practice. So this is because if you mark the wrong answer, so it will allow you to correct it to provide 50-50 help. So removing two incorrect options. So this site differs from Kahoot in that if the teacher sends a link to the student, the student can log with the registering with any account and without entering a PIN code. It's the main difference than Kahoot. So special features of the special educational program was based with the German Bruner that thinks about the students repeats the topic of subject several times during school. Each time you read its complexity increases fast. New knowledge is closely related to previous knowledge and considered in terms of previously obtained information. So, and the Bruner states human cognition of concepts of three continental divided states. So active, visual, symbolic. So taxonomy, we know about this taxonomy block. The firstly is the remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and the create. So the create main is and the useful and the main. The most important taxonomy, so category. So it's produce new original work. So when creating a short-term plan, the organization of the lesson should be guided by sub-goals, curriculum, and syllabus. So look at the short-term plan, and we know that about all learners will be able to, most learners will be able to, some learners will be able to. It is the Bloom's taxonomy method. Next, I read the researched was and the old and the new English textbooks. So I researched in these two books, and I get insight from. In English books we found a lot of speaking and reading, and in this case, so in Excel I found some insights. For example, the best learning materials, the best listening materials, the best watching materials, and other methods. And I think that Excel is the most useful of update content. So next, the teacher is the mentor. What does it mean? So, in my opinion, if a student understands the content of this knowledge, that he not only fulfilling his student mission, then accordingly the teacher shouldn't think his mission is only a teacher. Why? We have some question about why. This is due to the fact that the teacher becoming more and more modern, not a teacher. For example, our students interest to the TikTok, and we go to the TikTok too, and we help to the students to learn some topics with the TikTok. For example, this is a mentor's. Our leader Nursultan Nazarbayev said that this quote. So the content of modern education is the incomplete new program, textbooks, standards, and the personal. This is the update content. So recommends for the teachers is the competitiveness, high quality of education, professionalism, skill of middle works. It is a recommend for teachers. So which teacher can work well with the updated curriculum? Only educated teachers who love their subjects, their profession, they consider the life of the teacher to be powerful for a child can work with an updated curriculum. So my recommendation for this job, if the content of the knowledge updated but the methodological content will updated well, then we are not we're on the right track. So we learn updated, so a lot of some updated contents. We must go to the adaptation. We must go to adaptation. So in Kazakh words have some proverbs. For example, zamanın tulku olsa taz болып шығады. In English, those who cannot change their minds their minds. So these people cannot change their anything. Яғни бір нәрсені өзгертуге ешқандай мен өзгертуге дайын емес адам кез келген нәрсені өзгерте алмайды. This is my coursework, and I think that we have some methods, and we have some we have some differences in English and the Kazakh language, and we teach the students very well. So thanks for watching.